How's it going, everyone? This is Alina and welcome to my channel. And today we are going to talk about the things I wish I knew when I was just entering my freshman year. I graduated from UBC Sauder last year, and although I had a very eventful and exciting experience at Sauder at UBC, but I certainly noticed that I missed the boat on so many things. So today, I'm going to tell you 10 things that I wish someone had told me when I was in my freshman year so you can make the most of your university experience. First, get to know a wider variety of people and build your network. This includes making friends and getting to know your lecturers. It's pretty easy to make friends at university, but they tend to come from three major sources: your first-year flatmates, other people in your class, and the members of the clubs or societies that you're in. If, for example, you're studying commerce like me, socializing with mostly business students, and spending a lot of your free time at Sauder events, you might find your social circle a bit limited. But one of the best things about university is the opportunity to meet new people and try new things. And those opportunities are potentially limited if you spend your entire 4 years or more with the same group of people. And try to meet people from outside your class is really worth it, because that's when you actually start to learn about the opportunities that are available to you. For example, if I hadn't taken a music production class as an elective and make some friends with the music students, I would never know that UBC offers a lot of amazing resources like free access to lots of virtual concert databases, rare manuscripts, newly released movies, and a lot of amazing practice rooms. So go to events that most of your friends would never consider attending, join the cool clubs in your school, or simply get exposed to some new ideas or perspectives that are unfamiliar to you, or hang out with people from other schools. And that have helped me personally to grow my network. And one important thing that most students neglect, including me, is get to know your lecturers. And it's very understandable because it's kind of intimidating to do so. But from my personal experience, the lecturers I have encountered are all very approachable. And once you build that connection with your lecturers, your college experience will be so much better, because it will be much easier for you to ask for feedback and ultimately ask them for reference when you're applying to a graduate school or a job. But to get to that stage, you might want to get yourself noticed. And trust me, if you pay attention in class and ask worthwhile and interesting questions, it's really easy to build that connection. Just put in the effort and make sure the relationship isn't just going one way. And make sure you thank them sincerely for their help so that they know the time they have put into helping you was appreciated. Point number 2, embrace learning and try to maintain your GPA above 3.0. I know it's quite easy to become so distracted by deadlines, exams, and other chaos associated with student life that you forget why you're there in the first place, to learn. So it's really important to remember the excitement and the goals you had when you first got the offer from your school. You don't want to just muddle through the classes and exams just to get a diploma. And this is your best chance so far to explore the subjects that you're inspired by. So go out there and taste test the different programs and attend extra seminars and learn from those experts and make use of the rich learning resources. And back then, if I was not that busy and I had like 1 or 2 hours of break between classes, I would just sit in on random classes and ask my friend from other programs to take me to their classes, and it has really been an eye-opening experience. Whatever you do, take a proactive role in your education. Don't start that assignment the night before it's due, and explore your passions to tailor your academic and career path. And the biggest mistake I have made when I was in school is that I took "you are not your grade" way too seriously, because I didn't think I was ever going to graduate school, and most employers won't look at your transcript. So I put like half of my energies into my work and my hobbies. But you never know how much your plan can change. And I ended up wanting to go to graduate school. And for most grad schools, the minimum GPA requirement is 3.0, so I was like this close to not being able to meet that requirement. Maybe this close. So please put in a considerable amount of effort into your studies while in college. The next point is be mindful of what you eat. It won't take you long to realize that college is a place with lots of easy access to lots of food, and usually they aren't the healthiest option. And it also won't take you long to realize that you are gaining weight You know, this impending doom of the freshman 50. But fortunately, the freshman 50 is a myth. Those numbers are certainly not as large as 15, but unfortunately, gaining weight still seems to happen most of the time. Well, I learned this the hard way, but it was when I first came to Canada when I was in grade 9. And when I was in China, my parents were in charge of my diet, and I always ate very nutritious and very healthy Chinese food. And they also cut out all the snacks in our house, so I have like no other options. To give you an example, you might have heard of a Chinese snack called 辣条 or spicy stick. It's kind of like the most popular Chinese snack. And to forbid me from eating 辣条, my parents actually told me that it was made from diapers. And more specifically, used diapers. And you know, because of my trust issues with the food safety, I actually firmly believe in that for many years. But the point is, I didn't know how to manage my calorie intake at that time. So when my dad decided to explore a little bit of Western snack when we first came to Canada, things went a little bit out of control. And on top of my regular meals, I had way too much snacks like mini pizzas, chips, poutine, and I ate Nutella right out of a jar, and I ballooned.
Emotional, damn it!
Anyway, the moral of the story is be prepared for the fact that many of you will probably gain weight, and also know that you can avoid this by monitoring the amount of calorie, fat, and sugar you intake, drinking lots of water, getting the right amount of sleep, avoid late night eating or stress eating, and also be aware of the liquid calories, and you will do just fine. And that brings us to the next point, which is exercise. I know this is so cliche, but I benefited a lot from working out, and my only regret is I didn't start earlier. And after developing my workout habit, I had more energy, better focus, better mood, lower stress, and also because exercising can actually increase the number of brain cells, I also got sharper memories. But most importantly, I learned one of the biggest lessons in my life. There's no shortcut to success and no secret formula to improvement. You must train your discipline just like how you train your muscle, and put in the consistent hard work to get from this to this. So if you still haven't got into the habit of working out, it's time to start. Go and utilize these amazing athletic facilities that are already included in your tuition and get going. And this is a decision you will never regret. And the next point is work part-time if you can, but keep your hours low. Working part-time at college can be really worthwhile. It's not only about getting some extra cash or getting a CV boost, and most jobs can help you to develop strong transferable skills such as communications, time management, team working, critical thinking, and leadership. It's also a great way to figure out what you're actually passionate about and see if that career path is really what you want. And what's even better is that your manager at that part-time job can really be your reference for a graduate school or a future job. And it can really be a stepping stone for a full-time job when you graduate. But how to get a part-time job, you may ask? There are a lot of resources that your school offers to help you with it. And many degree programs have mandatory work placement, so that's pretty nice. Even if your school doesn't, you can always go to the career service website, and usually companies will advertise their vacancies there. And that's actually where I got my part-time job as the social media associate at my school's marketing and communication department in my first year.
This is the office I used to work in.
I worked there until I graduated, and I have gained so much from that experience. I got to apply the things I learned in school to some real-life scenarios and build connections with alumni, industry professionals, and my fellow students, and also my colleagues. And that was really incredible. So make good use of this resource, go on that website and apply for a few part-time jobs. You'll have to complete an online application form and do an interview. And if you want, you can seek out advice from the career advisors, and they will help you to prepare. At the same time, it's best to keep your hours low, and this was also a mistake that I made. While I was working part-time and studying as a full-time student, I had like 3 additional side hustles going on, and it was a really bad decision. You know, I was kind of like testing my limits, trying to see how much workload I could bear, and trust me, you don't want to do that. So I think 15 hours per week is the maximum, and 10 hours is preferable, so you don't have to struggle to keep up with your schoolwork. And the next point is get to know yourself. University is the perfect place for you to figure out more about yourself and your passions, because there are just so many opportunities open up to you, and there's virtually nothing that you can't try. So make sure you get into extracurricular activities, whether it's club, volunteering, or sports, or societies. Anything that exposes you to different interests and people is important. And you'll start to slowly build a better picture of what you like, what you don't like, what inspires you, what kind of people are you attracted to. Whatever you learn about yourself, you will be better prepared for the life beyond university where bigger life decisions happen. And the next point is take a lot of photos and document your feelings and your thoughts at the moment. There were a lot of great memories that I know I should have recorded but I didn't, but now those memories are a bit blurry, so I really wish someone had told me this. So take a lot more photos and videos than you think you should. Whether you're at some event, hanging out with friends, or just struggling with your coursework, just record them. You won't regret it. I know it's a bit of inconvenient at the time, but it will be really worth it to save those moments. And the same thing goes for why you should record your feelings and your thoughts the moment you're having them. When you listen to a podcast or when you read, just take a moment to type or write some notes about what your thoughts and feelings are. This will not only strengthen your memory and consolidate your thoughts, it can also train your brain to actively think on a deeper level. This habit is going to make you feel that your daily activities are so much more meaningful and interesting. And the next point is utilize your school's resources. And not doing this is probably my biggest regret. There are just so many things that universities provide. There are free career services, study abroad programs, great internships, mental health services, library materials. And there's also the professors' office hours that you can absorb some of their wisdoms. And there are a lot more amazing events at your school. And if it weren't for my job as a social media associate, I probably wouldn't go to many of the events because I was kind of like tired at the end of the day and I just wanted to lie on the couch. And because I had to get those contents for our social media accounts, I just had to drag myself out of that couch and go to those events. And I'm really grateful that I had this motivation to go to those events because it's really worth it. So make sure you follow your school's social media accounts and subscribe to the newsletter emails from your student union and keep an eye out for the great opportunities. But there are some other resources that are available to you, but you might have to put in a little bit of effort to reap that reward. And these are things like discounts and services from your school's partners. For example, UBC offers alumni free Apple car ride, some amazing travel offers, and discounts on some clothing brands, and it's actually pretty cool. And I've written some articles about these amazing resources for Solder's social media, and I'll put them in the description down below, so make sure to check them out. And if you're not a UBC student, then you can do some research on your own or talk to some upper year students or people from the student union, so make sure to take advantage of those resources that are in place. And the next point is stop looking for excuses and take responsibility for your life. I know this one is a little bit harsh, but I think it's really important because nowadays, especially with our generation, we tend to look for excuses all the time to shift our focus from the things we know we should be doing to some external factors that are really difficult to change. This is kind of like defending ourselves from self-examination and making room for laziness. I have been wanting to start a YouTube channel in my second year of uni, but I haven't taken any real actions until now. And during these 3 years, I kept finding excuses to make me feel better about not doing it. Excuses like my accent is so bad, my English is not perfect, and I don't look good enough on camera. And these excuses did no good at all and hindered my progress. And you know what? We're constantly looking for those excuses because deep down we know that we're not fulfilling our potential and becoming the better version of ourselves. So that's why we blame it on the things that we cannot control. I know it's harder to take personal responsibilities for some people because the deck is stacked against them. But we have to remember that life is difficult and the deck is stacked against everyone to some degree. And for all of us, it can get really hard at some times in our lives. So what's the alternative if we're not taking personal responsibility and always deceiving ourselves with excuses? We will become useless and achieve nothing, unlikely to become bitter and resentful about other people's success. Is that what we want? Of course not, right? So despite our difficulties and burden, we need to take on our responsibility and struggle uphill and actualize ourselves as the person we're meant to be. And the next point is go above and beyond. I'm not going to expand on this one because we all know what it means. So seek and cherish every opportunity that can make you improve. Go out there and explore, take an adventure. It's your time to shine. Alright, this video is definitely longer than expected, but I hope you find these 10 tips helpful. And don't hesitate to connect with me on Instagram. And I wish you the best with your study and your life. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.